biggest fail, I want to say my biggest fail in terms of sewing for now, and hopefully it will not be topped. Hello, I'm Val Marie. Welcome to my latest video. I first and foremost wanted to thank all the people who recently subscribed to my channel, most likely after my sewing room video tour, my sewing room tour video. The goal of this video is to share my biggest fail, which was my mauve ball gown that I made last year, over a year ago. And so the reason why it took me so long to share the project is because it honestly is just shitty. It's a shitty project. But you know what? I went through the footage I have, all the projects I filmed, and I thought it was not necessarily a bad idea to share. I'm very hot. I sewed that project back in May 2022 and it's now June 2023. So a long time has passed. I was a different person back then. I was 1 year further away from death. Oof, that's morbid. Not a lot of people are gonna like this. Please don't unsubscribe, although you can if you don't like my humor. It all started over a year ago. I was young and wild and free back then. I mean, I still am. I don't have kids and I am pretty independent. So even though my family sometimes would like me to follow a more traditional path, to that I say, no thank you. I'm gonna list the 5 mistakes I made for this project and hopefully it will help you avoid making these mistakes yourself. Mistake number 1, terrible fabric choice. I only wore the gown once, and I mean, I don't know about you, but I am not going to the supermarket in a silk gown. That was a little bit of a miscalculation on the number of wear I would get out of this gown. I would probably choose polyester. I'm very much against plastic, but sometimes it makes sense to reduce expense, you know. So if I were to redo the project today, I would choose a fabric that would hold its shape better. But silk is extremely flowy, so it's beautiful for, you know, cut on the bias, skirt or dress that is just meant to hug your body, that doesn't have like a complicated cut. In this case, there are 2 curves, a sweetheart neckline, gathering in the front. I don't even have straps to hold the dress in place. So really, silk was not a good option for this. I should have watched a bunch of tutorials. And the irony is that after I cut everything and I was almost done with the sewing, I found an amazing tutorial, randomly, I wasn't looking for it, from Tracy Garcia. And I highly recommend her DIY silk prom dress video. She explained everything you need to know about silk, and she detailed how silk is actually alive. It moves, it shifts a lot. So as you're cutting and moving the fabric around, you should be extra careful. I definitely did not do that. I also used improper pins, old and thick, and so that leads me to mistake number 2, not taking my sweet time. I feel like I rushed through the assembly. I should have at least taken my time to assemble the chest area, because obviously it is the most visible part of the gown. So if you're in a rush, at least make sure that that part is going to look okay. Anything around your face, really, that's hard to avoid. There are some pin marks I had to unpick and redo, so it left permanent pin marks literally in the middle. The gathering is completely off because I think the silk shifted too much when I was moving it around. And the edge stitching is not even, as you can see. So I should have used a dedicated foot to edge stitch to perfection. That is not what I did. I just winged it. So I would give myself a C- for this terrible job. Mistake number 3, the interfacing. It would have been nice to have a sturdier interfacing than the one that I used. Even though the fabric choice was wrong, maybe a thicker interfacing would have helped or potentially saved the project. But my interfacing was lightweight, I think. It doesn't even lay flat for the sweetheart neckline. Unfortunately, mistake number 4, assembling the skirt panels on the wrong side. The funny thing is that I only noticed after I was completely finished with the project The slit of the overskirt and the slit of the skirt should be on the same side, which is the left side of the body. It creates the illusion of a one line from the sweetheart neckline all the way down to the slit of the skirt. But no, that is not what I did. Somehow, and really, honestly, I don't know how, I mixed it up. I still can't explain it a year later. And finally, mistake number 5, not testing a rolled hem foot prior. I didn't talk much about the overskirt, but it's made of silk organza, and I was going to test out my rolled hem foot for the first time. And instead of properly testing it on a different scrap of fabric, I basically tested the foot on this project. So the hem is really not looking great. I wish I had done more testing prior. With that, I had finished the dress. In desperation, because I really could tell that it was pretty bad, I decided to create 2 sleeves that are not attached to the body. The idea was to draw the attention elsewhere. People at the party I went to kept saying that I looked like a Disney princess, and that really bothered me because it was really not the goal. The final garment looks cheap, which is unfortunate because the fabric was very expensive and it stings a little. I still love the color and I still love the fabric itself. I promised myself I would never sew silk ever again, and I actually did for the lining of my winter coat, and I made a video about it if you want to check that out. Thank you so much for watching. It means the world to me. Every single day I look at my channel and see if people felt like joining, and a few people a day do join, and it really means the world to me. Please let me know who you are, the kind of person you are, what you're interested in, what you've been working on, hobbies. I want to know how old you are, where you live, and your social security number. I mean, basic information that will help me understand who you are. Okay. I have the tendency to laugh at my own jokes because my jokes are funny. Thank you for joining. So I will see you in my next video here on YouTube. I hope you like this content. I hope you like this video. Let me know. Bye. The way what's the word in English? Le tombé. The way the fabric falls, holds its shape. It will come back to me.